Let's see, I don't know if anyone can see this yet. Let me check. Let's see. Okay. So everyone, I don't know if anyone's gonna be watching this quite yet, but point is, I am back after Hurricane Sally unexpectedly made a turn into the Gulf Shores and up into Molino, Florida, which I got a direct impact from the eye. If you've seen my Hurricane Sally video that I posted, so it's been 5 months since Hurricane Sally. I honestly just have not felt like doing a live stream. Uh, it's probably the first time you'll see my face on a live stream. I don't know if I've done it before, but yeah, this is me right here, 16-year-old kid. Not a meteorologist, but know a good bit about weather, and looking to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. So whenever I do anything wrong, please make sure to correct me so I can learn from them. But anyways, let's get on with the live video here. We have an enhanced risk for Louisiana, Texas, and up into a little portion of Mississippi here, with a slight risk surrounding that goes into Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and the Fort Panhandle, which is my location. If you can see my mouse, I am right on the tip of my on the mouse right there. We were dead center in this slight risk, but everything has shifted west. Unfortunately for me, as someone who is really into chasing storms, but that can be a good thing if you don't want a tornado ripping through your town, because that would suck. But anyways, we have a 10% risk in the enhanced area. The 10% is for a tornado here, as you can see, circling it with my mouse, with the 5% surrounding 2%. You can see the map here, so I shouldn't have to explain too much. Our wind threat is at 15% with a surrounding area of 5%. I'm included in the 5% wind threat, so I could have a severe thunderstorm with 60-mile-per-hour winds come through here. Of course, I'll go live on that like I always try to do. I'm not quite in the 5% hail threat. That makes sense. I'll get to that when I go over to weather.cod.edu for the models. I will try to get a look at OBS soundings from New Orleans today. I don't know when they come out, but they're coming out here sometime today. They probably actually already have a morning one out. But again, 5% hail risk. I would not count on getting hail, but it's there. What else? If you would like to read this massive discussion here, you can go to the Storm Prediction Center and click on the Day 1 Convective Outlook and just scroll down, and you can read it all there. It takes a lot of time and dissecting to do. I'm just more focused on my opinion of this, because I'm not official sources. If you're looking for official sources, this is why this website exists here. You see me pointing this way, it's because I'm using another monitor. If it was right there on my screen here, I'd be doing that, but I am not. Okay, we'll go look at the other outlooks. We have some severe threats for tomorrow, but I actually got a new weather station, by the way. Reports everything to myaccurate.com, so I can look at my station from anywhere, which is pretty helpful. As you can see, it's actually 73 degrees here in Molino, Florida, which it has warmed up a lot. I think the actual threat for severe weather is actually increasing. I'm kind of thinking it's kind of shifting back to a more between Lake Charles and Biloxi, Mississippi area for the main threat, simply due to warmer air and surface heating. I might as well look at satellite real quick on College of DU page, weather.cod.edu. But you can see where there's breaks in the clouds along the coastal area. Right now, I think it's actually filled in quite well with convection on the Louisiana section of this system. But we'll go into a closer look here. We'll click on the subregional. As you can see, there's some small cumulus bands wrapping around, Mississippi and Alabama and in the Florida Panhandle. But that's giving us a good bit of time to heat up the surface and get some warmer air going on in here. We had a good little pocket right over Molina earlier. That's what boosted our temperatures up, but that's not really big enough to do anything. But as you can see earlier, we had big open pocket right here between Lake Charles and Biloxi, Mississippi, going up a little bit north. So that should be actually helping the severe capabilities just a little bit with adding warmer air, better lapse rates, and just adding overall more energy into the atmosphere. But as you can see that even the shear, you can see these cumulus clouds on the lower levels kind of heading almost a little bit northwest, and then the upper level completely going northeast. So you got that nice strong shear going on there, supportive for tornadoes. But yeah, anyways, convection's kind of blowing up. Little showers are popping up around the southern Louisiana area. We'll take a look. I have the radar up on the screen here. There's one severe thunderstorm warning south of Warren, Texas. There's a lot of rotating cells on shore, but none of them are tornado warned at the moment. I'll go take a more in-depth look at radar here in a minute, but for now, let's see if anybody in our group chat is saying anything. Yeah, nobody's said anything so far within the past hour, but again, I'm about to get very shortly into some more in-depth stuff on what's making this severe system, or what's making this system severe. If you give me 1 second here, I apologize. Nobody's probably watching this right now. I'll probably get more viewers after the fact, but just kind of waiting a little bit. I'm gonna try to hurry up actually, because I got a few things to do at home. But we'll go ahead and get into our weather models here. If we go in weather analysis numerical models. Look at the HRRR. It just finished updating like an hour ago. Actually, just clicked on the wrong sector here. We'll go ahead and just look at our CAPE. CAPE, if I remember correctly, is actually not that high. It's showing it peaking about 1,310 joules per kilogram in the Lake Charles area, which actually the HRRR is actually on a new run since the past hour. But this morning we had up in the 1000s. That's what gave us those pop-up showers and a little tiny supercell this morning. But the CAPE is actually backed off for now, but it should regenerate as the system starts sweeping to the east. We'll look at the NAM here, the high resolution NAM, and let's see. I changed my fancy lights here. I don't know if it's going to make a difference with the background or not, but I don't know, it just looked kind of weird. Anyways, we'll go and look at simulated reflectivity on the NAM nest. Shows a line of pretty much separated cells that are sweeping across southern Louisiana, and that kind of wraps into new bands that go through the Florida Panhandle and southern Alabama. So pretty much two lines, two chances you could call it, for cells coming through between Biloxi and the Florida Panhandle. Oh, 3 viewers, that's cool. Um, but once again, temperature has been increasing here in Molino. It's now up to 73. It was at 74 earlier, but that's because we're in a little bit of shade right now. But I think the overall threat for severe weather has increased, and actually, as you can see, it is now 74 once again. I think it was only forecasted to be in the high 60s and 70s today, but this is adding overall more energy in the atmosphere, blast rates, just overall energy. Uh, but hopefully that will stick in through the night to support the storms coming through. For the most part, I know Shear is screaming, but that is limited down to Texas and Louisiana right now, as it's not moved into the Mississippi, Alabama, Florida area, obviously. Let's move over to our radar scope here, and take a look at the radar over in this area. Someone just told me that it busted, but it didn't bust, Ryan, okay? If you pay attention, the storms right now are still moving through Galveston, Texas, which is right there. And if you notice, that's just 1/4 of the outlook. So yeah, you, Ryan. So yeah, it's not quite over yet, and won't be over until way early this morning, and it should continue back up tomorrow afternoon. But that's not the biggest concern right now. You said you think the SPC has never been wrong. Oh, they've been wrong plenty of times, but it hasn't even entered like 1/4 of the outlook yet. So I don't really know how you're calling it a bust, and it's not a bust until you hype it. So I don't quite understand. I mean, technically, if you want to be real here, one tornado happening on an enhanced risk isn't necessarily a bust either, because it's still met that percent that they gave for a tornado to happen, and unless they state otherwise that there's a chance for multiple. But chill out, Ryan. It's not even over yet. But again, I think our risk area has expanded for the Florida Panhandle with now the higher temperatures. No, you did not. You're crazy. Oh my god. Hold up. It was literally muted the whole time. I clicked the wrong button. It was literally muted. Okay, I could just hear myself. That sounded dumb. But anyways, yeah. Wow. That was dumb. That was. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, Ryan was being a little dummy here and exposing me to some hot girl, but that's fine. That's over with. Anyways, what I was saying, we got storms happening. But for real though, we have this gap opening between Mississippi and the Florida Panhandle, allowing our surface heating to now happen. It's now, like I said, it's now 74. Let's see if it went up any. Still 74 here in Molino. But the overall risk has expanded from Mississippi to the Florida Panhandle. I think, like you said, we might have a 10% increase, or might be increased to 10% for tornado risk. Let's actually take a look at the New Orleans sounding here. Forget, I haven't used them. I've been using them on AWIPS, but I can't run AWIPS and the streaming software at the same time. It just lags the computer out. I think this whole mess though is going to come through at night, so I don't know about how streaming it's going to go. Why did I just go back to models? Why am I so dumb? I was thinking about something else. Analysis data I meant to go to. Upper air soundings. Take one from KLIX. When this was taken, Cape was only at 50. When was this taken? Really early morning or something. Okay, that's kind of garbage. I don't know. I'll be back here in a little bit. I'm just gonna leave up the radar of the Houston area and all that, waiting for some tornadoes or something to happen. Yeah, I'll be back here in a little bit. So it's not busting. It's literally like 1/4 through the entire event. So take it to a pill, Ryan. You don't know what you're talking about. Exposed. But yeah. Bye. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go to the store. Um, Leaving this here. So we'll see what changes in maybe an hour, and I'll be back. Um, but yeah, I think there will be some changes to the new SBC Outlook. So see y'all guys later. Appreciated Nationalistic WX. Yep, if you want to actually watch, I'll be back here in an hour or so. But for the most part, nothing new that I already haven't explained. You can go back and look at it if you want. But thanks for tuning in. Surprise, surprise, I haven't actually left yet. Getting ready to do so. But, yeah. Haven't done it yet. Still, nothing is happening yet, but we're still not even through, like, 1/4 of the, you can even say, like, 1/8 of the risk. We still have all the way to, like, Lafayette to go. But, surface heating is no longer happening from Lafayette to Galveston. It's currently happening from New Orleans to Panama City, which I think is opening a new window for the severe potential. So I think things are going to shift a little bit to the east, if not maybe even a lot, with the wind. I don't think hail, but and the tornado potential. After I come back from the store, I'm trying to set up. Tyler Smith will be joining me with a little discussion from his point of view and mine. They should be slightly different, but yeah, stick in for that, and I will come back on here if I haven't left yet and need to say something. So see y'all later. And of course I was still muted again. Awesome. Uh, Anyways, I'm gonna begin with a little another little overview of the severe threat right now. The line of storms is, you see my mouse pointer here. It's about at that little like 1/10 point of the enhanced risk area. Kind of looking like that enhanced is going to move a little bit, possibly folding down into Mobile with now new areas of surface heating. New Orleans is now completely engulfed in cloud cover, so there will be no more atmospheric intensification there, except the forcing that comes with the cold front moving through. But for the most part, I think there's going to be some changes to the outlook, but that just depends on who is making the outlook and what they see. So it comes down to just the officials at the Storm Prediction Center here. We have our slight risk that's still, it hasn't updated. I think it updates in like an hour 30 minutes, I think, or Hurricane Authority said. Tornado threat's at 10%, wind is at 15, and hail is at 5. Hail, don't count on it. Probably not going to happen, but you could have a little tiny hail producer come through. Right now, what you're seeing is my new weather cam. Not cam, but weather station that streams live. Later I'm going to make a link that everyone can look at it. This is my current location in Molina, Florida, 75, which is well over the predicted. Wait, they put us in the. Oh, if they do that, dude, I'm gonna cry. That'd suck. But anyway, we're well above our forecasted temperature. That's warmer air, more lapse rates, overall more energy to produce stronger storms that can very well rotate. Some models are actually, all models are showing this thing divided into more discrete cells that are moving along a line. So more of like a plane setup, just a little bit vertically integrated. I don't know how I want to describe it, but it's a little closer to what you'd see out there in Oklahoma, in this area where my mouse pointer is. But for the most part, there's nothing going on. Let's go over to our velocity here and see if we see any couplets out there moving ashore. There was some this morning. Looks like mainly just severe thunderstorm winds along this line here, but there's potential for these outflow and inflow areas to begin to rotate. You can see the lighter color there with that darker color, but this part may become red and this part may become blue as this what could be a meso intensifies. Plenty of potential out there for this for these cells to rotate as they move ashore. But I think this beam that you're looking at here, this is higher up in the atmosphere. This is not like as close as it would be right here. Let me pull out my my distance tool. We can see that's 2,000 feet above the ground there, where that little area, actually it's weakened since the last scan update. It's 3,400, that's 4,200, all the way out here is 6,000, and that is about 8,000 feet. So we're looking a little bit higher up in the atmosphere here, but that's okay. A lot of that stuff is translated back onto the ground. But again, nothing is really breaking out so far. This morning was a little more intense with some cells moving ashore, but those did not last long enough. It's a front to a winter storm. If we look back over to Texas here, I'm not sure if it's snowing quite yet, but it should be, as the front, the backside drops down some wintry precipitation. We'll put it in precipitation depiction. See, yep, that's some really heavy snow out here near Big Spring in Snyder, Texas. I think that's like 50 decibels right there. Let's take a look. It's actually about 40. I think I seen a 47 in there. Very heavy snow regardless. But yes, it is part of a winter storm. Going through Texas here currently. I think it moves up into Oklahoma as well. I think it's dry for the most part in northwest Oklahoma, but there could be some flurries to some freezing rain around Oklahoma City in that area, but the southern areas of Oklahoma will remain of liquid precipitation. But yeah, it's part of a winter storm. But right now, I don't really cover snow. I'm not that educated on snow. But this is the biggest concern, is this enhanced risk with I think, actually I do not know the specifications on this low pressure in this front moving through, but it's forecasted to be pretty big tornado threat or just severe weather producer on the last day of 2020, so that'll be pretty interesting to see how this turns out. It's not huge, but it's not small. It's pretty decent size here. Let's see if it's gone up any with temperature. Still 75 according to the weather station. Let's see how the winds have been. I think we got up. Yo, chill, Ryan, chill. Quit saying that kind of crap in my stream, dude. Come on. Sorry about that. I think winds have got up to 7 miles per hour today. I don't think on my weather station it shows a gust to it was 11. Ardmore, don't know where that is at. I can try to figure that. If you tell me what state that's in, that'd be pretty helpful. But yeah, I can pull it up. I prefer to use WeatherBug instead of the Weather Channel, or sometimes I'll use the Storm Prediction Center if it's like severe weather. But if you want to know your actual information, use the Storm Prediction Center, or WeatherBug is pretty good. But Ardmore is above Texas. I'm gonna guess it's in here somewhere. I'll just see if I can. Oh, there it is. Okay, Ardmore. You know what? I think, according to, if we switch back to our precipitation depiction here. So right now you have a little bit of freezing rain, wintry mix type stuff. That looks to be a little bit to your. How many miles do you think that is? About 50 miles to your north. If that precipitation south, you can probably continue to stay there for until sun. Sorry, I'm kind of like thinking about multiple stuff at the same time. But if that precipitation can stay there until sunset, where the temperatures will begin to drop even further, I think you could see some snow. You're about to get some pretty heavy rain moving up towards your area right now. But according to radar, yes, it looks like you will get some precipitation tonight if it can keep developing. But if you come back here a little bit later, maybe about like 5 this afternoon, we can see how the precipitation is holding on, and I can give you another update on that. Let's see, I'll even look at it on WeatherBug. Loading in here. Well, let me. Okay, there it goes. There's a lot of Ardmores. Huh. Oh, it's not Texas, it's Oklahoma. Duh. I knew that. Let's see if it will pop back up here again. There it is. It's running a little slow right now. Not quite sure why. So yes, you're only 2 degrees off for it to start snowing right now. It would if you're just 2 degrees down. We'll look at their forecast here, where they've changed the layout of their website a little bit, but there should be. Oh, here it is. Hourly. Dude, I'm in Florida. I want a winter storm. I'll take it. Your forecast shows it warming, or WeatherBug has it warming up for your area, and then warming up by like 3 degrees, maybe 4 degrees. I can't remember. But let's see, it drops. It only drops like a couple degrees into tonight, so. But it just depends on how, like, the forecasts aren't always, like, even though we're really close upon this, forecasts aren't always, like, correct. So you give or take maybe 3 degrees, but I think you have a chance for snow today. Don't count on it, but I have a lot of faith in with the WeatherBug's forecast, so just keep your eye out for some snow. You might see some here and there. Some might make it to the ground. I don't know. I'm not that educated with snow, but I'm mainly hurricanes and thunderstorms, but yeah. Hopefully it should end by tonight, but maybe switch over to snow. Still nothing really going on in Texas here. Some nice, really juicy cells coming on shore, but I don't think anyone carry too much rotation. I think rotation has actually died out on most of these, just a lot. But I think these are the ones to watch, but that's taken from a couple 1,000 feet higher. Let's see, what is this? I don't know why that opened up. Close up that. Let's see. See if temperatures change. I don't think it has. Pressure right now on Molino is 2977. So it's dropped, I think, about 0.20. warm air and cold air. If you want to get really basic, yes, but what's really happening, what that really means is you're having a front boundary with cold air that's behind the front pushing into a warmer area. If it's not warm enough, then you aren't going to have severe storms. But in this case, we have enough energy and moisture from the Gulf that's rising up, and that the front's going to collide with. And I think for me it's 75 degrees right now. Close to the coast, it's probably like 78. But you have what's called CAPE. That's your overall energy in the atmosphere. Right now we're at about 1,500, and it should stay about that all day. But when you have your CAPE and your front moving through, that adds forcing. Forcing would be for a cold front, you have your cold air that is more dense than air, and your hot air that's less dense. So your denser one's going to end up on the bottom, and no matter what, the colder air is going to create that boundary that forces the air that's moving into to rise above it, because this is your cold air, this is your warm air. Cold air moves into the warm air, pushes it above since it's warmer, and that gives you your it's like, I think of it as artificial lapse rates. It's like faking the normal rising of air, but if you have enough forcing, you could have thunderstorms in pretty much any temperature, but you usually don't have forcing in, like, crazy temperatures. But anyway, what I was saying, you have your warm air that rises up in the moist air, and a higher altitude you go, the colder it gets. So that moist warm air condenses, you get your thunderstorm. So I can get a little more in depth with that, but I don't think you want to hear that much. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As for what we're talking about, as far as these cold front storms go, but summer pop-up storms, that's a whole different thing. So clouds are breaking. Let me look at here. It's a little more cloudy than it was earlier. It was about full blue sky, but yeah, we have pretty much mostly cloudy, and we have little breaks in it. But yeah, it's definitely helping getting our temperature up right now. Still 75, nothing's changed. I think, what time is the new Outlook at? It's like, it comes out at 2, right? Okay, yeah, about 2. New tornado watch has been just issued for southern Louisiana, disregarding the New Orleans area. It stops about Morgan City. I'll pull that up right now on the SPC website. It hasn't came out yet on the website. The website's always behind. Twitter's always ahead, actually. Here's our day 2 while we have it up. Day 2 puts the whole panhandle in the marginal that extends up into Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, all the way up into Kentucky and parts of Alabama, just not the far western areas, but northwest and beyond. And this is for a 2% tornado threat. You said today should be a slight. Well, we will see. Like I said, we're not even into 1/10 of the enhanced risk yet. So temperature's actually dropped now to 74. It's probably just fluctuations with the sun hitting the weather station and what, but models say marginal. That's just how you interpret models. Like it doesn't. It's your job to look at a model and be like, I think this represents a marginal. So to me, those models do not represent a marginal. As far as energy goes, and like in CAPE, it doesn't look that impressive, but with the forcing and now, I don't think the models have factored in the surface heating that's happened. But RFD with a supercell, as in a supercell that you would see in the planes generally, your RFD, yes, that's your cooler rear flank downdraft. That's on the back side of the supercell, and it generally wraps in through the mesocyclone in between the between your inflow notch, your inflow channels and stuff. So yes, pretty much it is one of the big factors. But with like a lot of supercells, especially ones that happen down here in Dixie Alley in Florida, those generally are strictly just off the shear, not too much of like RFD, because those storms aren't structured good enough to carry like a actually good RFD or even identifiable RFD. But it just depends on the structure of the storm, really. But if we're talking like textbook supercell, then RFD is needed. Gotta put on some chapstick. Why is that TV so bright? That's fine. I'm not gonna mess with it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if conditions are perfect, then yeah, it's perfect. So pretty much answers itself. But you know, they say F5s are like extremely rare, but they're really not like rare in my opinion. It's just less common. To me, rare is something that doesn't happen in like 7 years since an F5. I don't think so. No, there's been. If we're talking about F, the F scale is what you're always talking about, then we've had. I think the last one was Bassfield. Yeah, EF5, but not F5. They're different. Yeah, EF4, not